Hell, how are you doing? Coming to you from my Corona bunker. I think we all have Corona bunkers now, right? And just some thoughts. We're in like, God even knows, the second and third week. I don't even know what day it is. Every day is like Saturday now. I'm grateful for the fact that I still have work. I'm a college professor and we're still teaching online, so I still get paid and things. So I feel bad for the people who don't. I mean, this is really rough times, right? I mean, in all my preparation for something like this, watching, the Walking Dead and zombie movies, which when you really want to know about it, those are really not about zombies. They're about pandemics. They're about the spread of pandemics and how people are going to respond during those periods of time. And in those TV shows and movies, they're not responding well. Most often killing each other, stealing from each other, doing those type of things, right? But in reality, in a pandemic like this, what it really came down to is this. Got some of this toilet paper. Two ply. All right, two ply. Got some that fine two ply. Drug dealers are gonna be doing that. They ain't gonna be selling drugs no more. Nobody wants the drugs no more. It's gonna be like, I got some two ply, dog. How much? All right, and so that kind of thing is probably going to be happening more than anything else, right? But on the serious side, this is a very serious issue. I mean, Corona is a very serious issue, and it's kind of scary because in some ways it's not as serious as, let's say, the fatality rate of HIV, which back then was 100%, but harder to catch. I mean, HIV basically, you wear a Jimmy hat, condom, right? You're pretty much good. First we didn't know that. We didn't know how we caught it and everything else. People were panicking back then too, afraid you can get it from a hug or a kiss or something like that. Like slight blood transfusion during like I don't know, like you rubbed up against somebody who was bleeding and things like that. People thought all that, but it still was much less contagious than this, where literally the virus can stay on an object for a period of time. And while most of us are not going to die, most of us, large percentage of us are not going to die, right? Some of our loved ones will. And that's the thing we have to be careful about, right? Is spreading it to people who are more vulnerable, are just unlucky because they're one of the anomalies that are young and healthy and still die, right? And that's the scary part about it. That's why we have to stay home. And everybody gets that. But this is difficult, right? It's going to be difficult in the long run, not just right now. A lot of pain is going to start after this, and very serious pain is going to start after this because the longer this goes on that we have to quarantine, the problem comes some people aren't going to be getting paid for long periods of time. And the federal government is giving money now to people, and that's a good thing. I don't need the money personally because I still got a paycheck coming in as a college professor. I'm still working, all right? So that's the good news, all right? The good news is I get to service my students and do that type of thing. Great, that's good news, right? But what about all those workers who are losing their jobs? And those are the people who, after a period of time, what are they going to do? They keep talking about things like, for instance, you don't have to pay your rent right now or your mortgage right now, and you can pay it back for the month or two that you missed, right? Why is it we have to pay it back? See, I'll pay my mortgage because I still have a job. But for those people who don't have a job, why can't we just tell the people who own the apartments and the people who own the homes, let those people live rent free, mortgage free, until the pandemic is over? And then they can start paying again at the same rate they were paying before. Because I've been poor before. I'm not poor now, but I've been poor before. And if this would have happened when I was poor, I couldn't have done this. There was no way I was going to be able to pay that money back. I'm going to get evicted. I just as well, when the pandemic's over, just basically give him my 30-day notice so I don't get a foreclosure. I mean, not foreclosure, but eviction notice. Because where am I going to get that extra money from? When you're poor, you're always behind. So where do they think this extra money is going to come from at the end? Oh, because you're not out spending it? When you're poor, you're not out spending a whole lot of money anyway. It's basically the basics and maybe a little stuff for entertainment to try to help forget that you're poor. Right? But if you and people say, well, where are you gonna get this money from? I got an idea. We've bailed out the banks several times. Maybe it's time the banks bailed us out. The banks just say, you know what? We'll leave this. They're still gonna get their money on the back end. It just means they're gonna go a few months without money. And if anyone can afford to do it, It's the banks. How many times have we had to come through as taxpayers for them? It's about time they came through for us. See, as long as we keep protecting the wealthy, what we're going to see is a long, drawn out, painful recession. I'm a sociologist. It's one of the things we study, right? We see these patterns happening all the time. As Naomi Klein points out in the shock doctrine, right? The wealthy actually do well during these periods of time because they get to put into the processes this way of taking advantage of the situation. They have the ability to take advantage of the situation. Can't allow that this time. We should never allow it, but especially this time. What we really need in this moment is for the wealthy to take the brunt of this crisis on their shoulders. The Jeff Bezos, the Waltons who own Walmart, the banks. They should take that credit. We shouldn't be bailing their businesses out so they have a business afterwards unless they're still paying their employees their full pay for not working. Then I'm down. Right? I ain't asking you to go broke, but then I'm down. But anything short of that, hell no. Because this virus, it may it may not kill that many people in comparison to what smallpox did, or even HIV did not that long ago. But this long-standing recession may kill a lot more people, put a lot more people in prison when they become desperate. People don't become criminals because they're bad people. People become criminals because they have no hope. I know. I come from a family of them. We didn't have hope. And don't go looking at me and saying, well, you turned out okay. I got lucky. I did some of the shit they did and never drugged up. I did other crimes that young people didn't get caught for because people didn't think they were doing them, but I got out. And part of it was because of my family members. Part of it was because of other members of my community. It's not time to step up for each other. And this means the wealthy, it's time. You understood your making of billions of dollars is less than important than our billions of lives. Just something to think about from the coronavirus.